How's it going, everybody? Today I'm going to be doing a different kind of video. I'm going to be looking at some items that aren't super popular, whether it be because they're for a specific, they have a specific function, or maybe people just don't really know about them. These are items that just kind of fall to the wayside when people are looking at making builds. Again, I think a lot of the reason why these items aren't picked up very often is because a lot of them are really specific and they have specific things. It's not something that you can use in every build. So I'm going to be talking about 4 items today, and these 4 items in general I think do well on warriors. So that's why I think there are a lot of warrior items out there that maybe people are overlooking or they just don't know about. I think warriors may be the toughest role to build for because you can build a warrior in so many different ways. And you can build them tanky, you can kind of go more for the damage. You can sometimes use more guardian, like heavy defensive items, or you could go for something like health items. So I think there's a lot of different ways to build warriors, so that can kind of maybe confuse people when they're looking at items. And there are definitely items out there, and these 4 items in particular I wanted to talk about. These items I think could be used a lot more. A lot of people just maybe forget about them. Now, that's not to be saying that these items are never used. That's not true. I'm sure a lot of people who play solo lane or who play warriors a lot, I'm sure they pick up these items quite a bit depending on the situation. But I think these 4 items in general are situational. So you want to kind of be careful when you're choosing them. So the first one I'm going to look at is, again, these are all going to be mainly warrior focused. The first one I'm going to be looking at is Shield of Regrowth. And this item will look at the stats, so you get 30 physical power, 30 physical protection, 10% cooldown reduction, and the passive says after healing yourself from an ability, you gain plus 35% movement speed for 4 seconds, and this cannot occur more than once every 10 seconds. So this is an interesting item. This could be good for a warrior who wants to get in other people's faces and chase people down. And I actually have a list of gods who have heals in their kit who I think would benefit from this item. And I think besides warriors, this item could actually be great on assassins. There are actually a lot of assassins that have heals in their kits. So this item could be an interesting defensive item. If you, let's say, you don't want a completely squishy assassin, you might look at the Shield of Regrowth to help you with not only some of the physical protections but also the movement speed. I think could be great. So I have the list of the gods who have heals in their kit, and these are gods that I think might be able to use Shield of Regrowth. So if you play any of these gods and you're looking for a new item, you want to get the extra movement speed from your healing abilities, then you should look at maybe some of these gods. So gods that have healing in their kits are Arachne. She has healing off her 2. Hercules has a healing off of his 3. You may not need the movement speed as much on Hercules, but I would say Arachne definitely needs movement speed, so consider this item for her. Kali has a heal on her 1 ability. Bakasura has a heal on his 2. He definitely needs speed, movement speed as well, so does Kali, so this could be a great item for both of those gods. Bakasura, in addition, might need some extra defense, so this could be a good item for him. Naja has a heal off of his passive. Thanatos has a lot of heals. Every time he kills an enemy, I believe he heals a little bit off of them. So this item could be great on Thanatos. I think this might be something that I don't really play Thanatos, but if I were to play him soon, I might actually put this item in his build because of how much he actually heals off of his abilities. Nemesis has a heal on her 3, I believe. The Ratatosker, if you use the Emerald Acorn, he gets a heal off of his cone, so you could use it on him. Amaterasu gets a heal off of her 1, so she could definitely chase down, and she also has a 1 that will give her extra movement speed, which is actually one of the dumbest abilities in the game right now, in my opinion. It allows her entire team to get extra movement speed, so if you add this on top of that, she's going to be pretty fast, so I think it could be great on her. Bellona has a heal on her 3. Tyr has a heal with his 2, his cleave, so you could use it on him. Vamana heals off of his ultimate, so you can maybe make your ultimate a little bit faster, although I'm not sure. I looked at his ultimate and it says that he gets health regeneration. I'm not sure if that's the same as healing. I'm not sure how that works. I think it might be the same, but you could probably use this on Vimana. I have Guan Yu open mainly because I think this item would be perfect for Guan Yu. His heal is great support ability, and he heals for quite a bit from it. And he also has an ultimate where that's built around him chasing down people. So if you could heal, then go into your ultimate, you'll get extra speed off of your ultimate, which I think is great. And then Ravana. Ravana also has a heal off of his 3, I believe. So that's Shield of Regrowth. It's not that expensive, 1,800 gold, so you can get this pretty early in your build. Um, I think it's probably an obvious pick for gods like Hercules, Thanatos, Guan Yu. Definitely those kind of gods might use this. So again, I'm not saying this isn't an item that's completely in the dark and no one's using it, but it definitely seems to be underused in my opinion. I think it's a great item. And so the next one we're going to talk about is Ancile. So this item was actually buffed recently. I don't remember what the buff was. I should probably look it up, but I know it was buffed recently. So this is an interesting item. I would compare it to something like Shifter Shield because it has to do with how much health you have. So you get plus 25 physical power, plus 40 magical protections, and 10% cooldown reduction. And the passive is you gain plus 0.5% physical power for every 1% of your missing health. So this to me is definitely a warrior type item. This is for that warrior who's going to be getting in people's faces, is going to keep chasing people down, and usually when you're a warrior, you don't stop attacking. You get in the middle of the team fight, and even if you're taking a lot of damage, your whole point, especially someone like, I'm looking at Osiris, he is like the biggest bruiser, harasser god in the game, and he is great at just getting people's faces, getting a lot of attack speed off, same with like Bologna, and these gods, because they have this type of aggressive playstyle, Odin as well, because they're aggressive type gods, they're going to be losing a lot of health, so this item I think would be great on them. So for most warriors, you might be able to get this item. It's kind of it's a difficult item. I don't really like the idea of guaranteeing an item's passive goes off by having less health. As when I'm playing, I kind of want to have my health as full as possible, so I don't want to rely on myself having less health in order for the passive to proc. So I don't know if I love the item. Maybe that's why people don't use it. It's kind of a weird passive. Again, like Shifter Shield is kind of the same thing. Like once you drop below a certain, I think it's like half health, then a different passive activates. So it's one of those weird things. I don't like to play with that. I don't like to guarantee that my health is going to be low in order for me to get extra physical power. It's a good, I guess, way to sustain, maybe to do a little bit extra damage on a god who you're trying to chase down, but you're also taking a lot of damage. So you could definitely use it. It depends on what your preferability is. So, check it out. It's 2,200 gold. That's not too bad. So I guess that's not a well used item right now, so that's why I figured I'd talk about it. The next item I'm going to talk about is Void Shield. So this is a heavy physical item. It has 50 physical protection, 30 physical power as well, and the aura passive says that it reduces the physical protection of enemies within 55 units by 20. So this is an item that you want to use in a heavy physical team comp. If you're playing against a team that maybe has 4 physical, definitely get Void Shield. Even if it's 3 physical and they're really like, if you have an Amaterasu or a Ravana on your team and then 2 hunters, you might want to get Void Shield as well. But it's for if you're going to be facing a physical god who's going to be doing a lot of damage to you. Maybe if you're in lane against like a hunter who you're worried about their attack damage, then you might want to get Void Shield. So I think this item again is pretty specific. It's completely revolved around physical protection and reducing physical protection on the enemy's team. Definitely a warrior item. Again, one of those things that if you're looking to chase down the ADC or the hunters a lot, if that's going to be your main target, so let's say you're playing against like an AMC or an Artemis or someone who doesn't have any escape and you want to get in their face as much as possible, then you might look into getting Void Shields just to help you if they're, attacking you while you're doing that. So I think it's another item that you don't see very often. Again, I'm not saying that people don't use it, but it's definitely not as popular as some other items, I would say. So gods that might work well with Void Shield would be most warriors: Osiris, Guan Yu, Ravana, Amaterasu. I think any warrior could really pick up this item. So it's a little. I think it's a little expensive. 2,600. It is a good item, but I think it might be a little too expensive. Um, it depends on where you want this in your build, because you could probably put it, maybe fourth item, third, fourth item. I'm not really sure. Um, but if you again, if you guys use these items, and maybe some of you use these items a lot, tell me what you think about them, because I definitely am interested. I don't really use these items that often. I don't. Warrior is probably my least played class. So if you guys love these items, let me know. That'd be great. And then the last item is Runic shields right here. So this is an interesting item as well. I guess it's similar to Void Shield, but kind of just the opposite. So it gives you 25 physical power, 50 magical protection, and the aura is all enemies within range 55 have their magical power reduced by 50, and their attack speed reduced by 20%. So these items are interchangeable, really. If you're playing against a comp with a lot of magical gods on them, you want to pick Runic Shield up. And also, I kind of like Runic Shield better than Void Shield because of the attack speed reduced by 20%. So not only are you going to kind of hurt the magical gods on the enemy team, but you're also going to be reducing the attack speed of the hunters. So I think this item has a little bit more utility than Void Shield. Of course, the Void Shield is great if you're playing against physical gods. So let's say you're playing against a team with 2 hunters, and you're worried about that damage. You might get Void Shield, and then you might get something like the Hide of the Nemean Lion, or you might get Midgardian Mail if you're building your warrior kind of tanky. And then Runic Shield, you can kind of address the magical power as well as the ADC or the other hunters on your team. And this will just allow you to survive in team fights if you're playing against some magical gods that have a lot of damage. So again, these items are just all allowing you to get in the team fight, harass the weaker gods. Really, is kind of the focus. Again, magical or ADC characters, it's allow you to harass them without taking too much damage. So that's just an overview of these 4 items. Again, these are the ones that I'm just noticing are a little lesser known. Maybe if you're a more casual player, you might have never used these items. So if you are one of those types of players, I would definitely suggest go try these out. Especially, I love Shield of Regrowth. That's an item that I actually want to use more. So if you are starting to play warrior, and let's say if you want to play someone like Guan Yu, I would definitely check out this item. And if you do, just let me know how it goes. I would definitely like to know. And if you guys have builds that include these items on a regular basis, feel free to post the build in the comment. That'd be great. I definitely would love to look at those different types of builds, so that'd be great. But that's the end. Those are the items that are a little lesser known. So I thank you very much for watching, and I will talk to you soon. Bye bye.